how do we validate? You need to work out whether or not this is a goer or not. Just because somebody has signed up, just because somebody has purchased, just because there's one person, doesn't mean that this is necessarily a strong offer. It just might be hyper-targeted to that particular person, which is cool for that person, but we need to know that there's a large enough market. So what you need to work out is going in upfront, what are metrics of success? What are metrics of failure? You might say, okay, I'm going to spend £140 on this test. I want to have 10 sales, and each of those sales is going to be £100. That would be £1,000 of sales for £140 spend. I'm happy. You set those metrics before the test starts. Otherwise, the psychology of the test and watching these numbers gets in the way and you become too emotionally attached. So you set up your success metrics before. Ideally, you have a metric for cost per click, which is the cost to get them to your site. You have one for cost per email collection. So for me right now, this is costing me, this one's 75p for an email. This one's £1 for an email, for example. My goal is £2, so under £2 is good. So I'm happy with these. Cost per conversion, so a cost per purchase. That is what we're looking for here. But obviously, you have to be charging your customers for that. And then you need to work out your desired margin and your product price in order to work out your cost per acquisition. This is going into the weeds a little bit, but you need to know all of these numbers before you start the test so that you don't get too emotionally attached to the wins you're having. And instead you can step back and be like, it was good. We made some sales. We sold £1,000 of stuff. That's awesome. I love that. But the margins don't really make sense and we didn't get that much of a hit. So I'm actually going to kill this test and refund all of that money. Otherwise, it's still very easy to fall in love with it just because it started to make some money and you're like, oh my God, but it still might not be a good idea. It still might not be scalable. What you can also do is expand the test. If you're on the edge, you're like, it's working, but it could do better. Then you can expand the test. You can go another week. You can refine the adverts. You can refine the landing page, but that's only if it's an edge case. I would much rather you kill the idea and move on, but you get a feel for this again and again. So the data is either going to pass. So you have a sustainable cost per acquisition and consistent interest. People are still buying, still signing up after a week. If so, build the product that you have pre-sold. Go ahead and create it. You also know which of your sales pages converted best. That tells you how you should shape your product. Let's say you have one sales page which focuses on the money that they will make when they purchase your product. And you have one that is focused on the community they'll be a part of when they purchase your product, and you have one that is focused on their continuing education. So you have three. You have money, you have community, and you have education. Let's say these are your different angles on your sales pages. And you find that the one that makes the most sales is the one you're talking to people about how much money they're going to make. That's awesome. That tells you that is the driver, that is the hook that is resonating with people. Therefore, you build that into your product more. So your product will be less about the community, less about the continuing education, and more about helping them make money. You are then going to also later refine your adverts, refine your sales pages, continue to refine everything based around that hook, because now you have real information from real people. So cool, you are going to go ahead and build. I have got many courses on this. If you go to courses, the free course, 10-week course, has week 4 is about vibe coding. Week 5 is about building what people want. So this is building with beta testing, building with cohorts, etc. In the catalog, there are tons and tons of them. There's one on digital products, for example. Press search. Building digital products, starting an online business. There's a whole category. If you go to offer, filter for offer, this will show you all the different ways you can build product, basically products and services. Vibe coding, leapfrogging competitors, building profitable apps, get started with vibe coding a business, app launch, training for businesses, selling workshops, digital products, sales funnels, cohorts, authentic sales, welcome sequences, etc. There's lots of stuff in there. That's all free on AI with Kyle. But you are going to go ahead and build your product. What your product is depends on what the idea was. It depends on the delivery mechanism. You use the successful sales pages and the ads to tell you, okay, it's going to be in this area. Let's get building. Otherwise, scenario B is it fails. So there's a high cost per acquisition. There's a low click-through rate. People don't seem that interested in what you have to offer. So you've spent £150, £200 testing your idea. No one cares. It's fine. You do not have the sunk cost of spending 6 months or 12 months building a product that no one cares about. Instead, you spent 200 quid and an afternoon building some sales pages and some ads. Nobody cares about it. You kill it, you move on. No harm, no foul. And next time you do this, you're going to be faster. You're going to be better. You're going to be able to build sales pages faster. You're going to know how to use meta ads. You are going to be much more comfortable recording adverts on video. So you skill up through each of these cycles. So it's not a loss at all. It's an investment of 200, did not pan out, but you learned a huge amount and then you move on to the next one. And importantly, there is no sunk cost. You're not going to spend 6 months working on this stupid thing. This is all based on the lean startup methodology. Don't assume anything. Don't assume you know what people want. Don't base it on anecdotes of, oh, my friend down the pub said that he'd really like an app like this. We need to find out if there are 10,000 people willing to get an app like this and how much are they willing to pay for it. There's a great story of market research that Sony did for their yellow Walkman. If you're old like me, you'll remember this. I think it's beautiful. So they had these sports Walkman and sports boom boxes and stuff. And they did customer research on these things. I used to have one of these. They did customer research, market research, and they brought lots of people in. They asked people, do you like this design? And everyone in the market research, yeah, I love it. Wow, it's so cool. It's so trendy. I can imagine it in summer. Everyone loved it when they were asked. They were then given the option to buy one at the end of the market research. Okay, cool. We're actually releasing these limited edition. They're not out yet, but for this price, you can buy it. No one bought it. So they would all happily say, yes, I love this. I'm interested in this. They would not actually reach into their wallet and pull out money to buy this abomination. Although I did love it. This whole thing on the side was a clasp and it would open up. I'm not going to buy one for 200 quid for the nostalgia though. So you have to not rely on anecdotes, not rely on what your mate says. Don't listen to your mum. She's going to say that it's great whatever you do. You need to buy proof. And that means you need to take your offer out into the market.